Hey everybody!
What's up?
We're back with a double review.
We've been doing a lot of these lately.
Oh, we've done a few, yeah. Some we've just done back to back, but this, I think the only one we've really done is like a double review was American Assassin and Mother.
Lately, yeah.
Well, and then we've been grouping the Star Trek episodes together, but
Yeah,
that's for a completely different reason.
New one of those coming out soon, hopefully.
Yeah. So, I guess let's
What did we go see today, Jared?
We saw the Snowman and Geostorm.
Let's talk about Snowman first then, because it's going to be the one that I have the least to say about it.
I will say this. The last time I was this goddamn bored in a movie was another Michael Fassbender movie. I was bored as shit in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. I found Assassin's Creed laughably enjoyable.
Yeah, well, I fell asleep.
Which will lead us into another movie we saw tonight.
Yeah. But I don't know if Fassbender's career can survive this year. He's been in a lot of bad movies.
Everybody goes through a rough streak.
Like, he did Alien Covenant.
Mm-hmm.
Then...
Which was not his fault. He was fine in that.
And then there was, tail end of last year, beginning of this year, Assassin's Creed.
Again, not his fault.
Then Snowman, and I know he did one other this year. It just eludes me right now.
Yeah, I'm not. I know what it is, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah.
But it was another one I didn't care for.
I said this walking out of the theater with you. This might be the most beautifully shot batch of incompetence I have ever watched.
Well,
because the cinematography in this movie is fucking gorgeous. I really want to go visit Norway now.
Yeah, this is based off a book series. The Harry,
is it a series?
It's the Harry Holt series.
Okay.
He's apparently this just famous detective in these set of books, but
we're spoiling this, by the way. There's no way around this. This movie eats.
Like, it takes an hour before we even feel like we're going somewhere.
Was it only an hour?
It was like an hour before.
It felt more.
It was like an hour until we actually see somebody killed.
Right.
Which, they could have cut so much out. No, but the way the book did
Don't get us wrong on this. I love a good slow movie.
Yeah.
Blade Runner 2049 might be one of my favorite movies this year.
Yeah, it was slow.
And it was slow as dog shit. This movie, though, you feel every single minute on screen.
Yeah.
And I'm almost positive, because this is based on a fairly successful book series,
yeah,
or stories based therein, I have a strong feeling there is a lot of shit that got left on the editing floor on accident.
I know there was a lot of scenes that got left out. But
they took out all the things that make sense, and they were just like, here's the pile that makes sense, here's the pile of shit that don't make sense. Don't get them confused! And then somebody got them confused.
So, in the book series, he actually goes through and, so his partner dies at the end, the girl.
And she's one of the murder victims.
In the book, he actually thinks it's her.
Right.
And she gets locked up in a psych ward, and then another murder happens, and he was like, oh shit, I was wrong.
Right.
And then that's when he figures out who it really was. And this,
well, here's the problem in this. It doesn't make sense who it is in the end.
Because there's
no alluding to it. There's no build-up to it. It's just, there he is!
See, like, in the book, like, he found, like, the paper and stuff, he found it in the girl's apartment because it was planted there.
Right.
And it just, there was none of that in this movie. That's
kind of the problem when you compare the book series to the movie series. The movie series doesn't always add up because the book has the ability to take longer, it can pace itself better. Which is why I think somebody got the editing wrong, and they just put a whole bunch of really, really great shots of Oslo, Norway. Norway, Sweden.
I believe it was Norway.
I think it was Norway. They got some really good shots in there. Don't get us wrong. This movie looks gorgeous.
It's so bad. And the ADR was so terrible.
When Val Kilmer's standing there going,
yeah.
But it's coming out of his mouth.
Oh,
what are you doing? I'm gonna find you.
The ADR was fucking awful in this thing.
I could voice over something right there and it would look better.
Yeah, you could. You really could.
There's a wonderful scene where a guy goes onto the phone and you can literally just see him back there going.
Yeah, the ADR.
But in the movie, he's going, yes, I know. Okay, bye. But you constantly see his mouth moving, and none of it lines up.
I will say this. I've seen better English dubbed Chinese movie than the ADR in this.
Like 70s and 80s Hong Kong movies that they ported over. Godfrey Ho movies sync up better with their voiceover.
Yeah.
That being said, I kind of want Val Kilmer to play angry drunk guys more.
Yeah.
Because he was a lot of fun going outside the window going, happy birthday to you, fuckface. Here's some fucking whiskey or whatever I'm drinking. Vodka sprayed out of my spray bottle like this is my dick.
With that said, I don't think I can recommend this movie to anybody because it's just so goddamn boring.
Not as like a serious recommendation, but if you're like interested to see exactly pretty much how not to make a movie, I could totally understand going to see a matinee for this.
Yeah, or wait until it comes on Netflix.
Plus, I love the way it ends. He's sitting there with his finger he got shot off reattached, and he's sitting there tinking his cup. And they're talking about the impossible murder case, and he's like, I'll take the job! It's like, when the fuck did this come from? You've been a downer alcoholic the entire goddamn movie. But now all of a sudden, everything's looking roses!
I guess it
I'm on the case!
I guess it re-sparked it. I think, like, I don't know where the Snowman fell and...
If you've been murdered, Michael Fassbender is here to solve it!
I really need to figure out what other movie he was in that was just goddamn awful this year.
He's weirdly been in a couple.
He's been in a lot of bad movies this year.
Everybody goes through some bad ones. I mean, look at Harrison Ford. He's one of America's icons, but he's done some really shitty movies in his time.
Yeah. So, that being said...
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend you go see this movie as like a serious thing, but... If you like have a film pass or like you're a film student and you want to see how to make a movie look really, really good, I could understand using this as like a template for how to make a movie look really, really good. Just also be aware that using it as that template uses the template for how not to make a fucking boring ass movie.
Yeah. Alright, well, I guess that's about all I gotta say about Snowman.
Yeah, that's about all we got. But holy shit, do we have more to say about fucking Geostorm?
Okay, I have a confession now.
I loved this movie.
I really, it was very enjoyable for me, but I fell asleep during the second act because I had been working all day.
Yeah.
And we saw that boring-ass movie this morning. I was just really fucking tired, and I nodded off for about 10, 15 minutes.
All right. Now, I have a little bit to say about my theater experience. We went to 2 separate theaters for this one because I woke up late and wasn't able to make it to your screening. So I went to a small local theater to see this. It started like almost 10 minutes late. And there was like nobody else in the theater, so I was able to laugh out loud a lot, which was good. But like right as the credits start rolling, I see directed by Dean Devlin. I get to the executive producer, shuts off. I'm just like, I get that it's like 11 o'clock. You guys really need to work on that. I'm sure you want to go home. That's not the way to treat people like that.
So
I think because I got to the theater and I'm the only person in there. And there's, like, nobody else in the theater at all. Like, one other couple walked in, I think, to talk to somebody or to go see something else entirely. So I think they got done with their movie, or was close to it. And they're like, is anybody in the Geostorm movie? I don't fucking think so.
So, let me tell you about my theater experience.
Oh, good.
So, when I got my ticket,
yeah,
I was one of 3 people in there, and I chose, like, I like to sit in the center, and this time I went for the top row. I get up to go to the bathroom, and I come back, and just my effing luck, the biggest, fattest, smelliest guy is in the chair right next to me. And I immediately just grabbed my hoodie and my cup, and I was like, nope. And I went down to the box office and talked to the girls I know. I was like, fuck whichever one of you did that. But give me a seat. Give me this one, and don't you goddamn sell the seat next to me. And I went back in, and...
That's a sign they hate you at your job.
No.
If you try it again and you get a chronic masturbator sitting next to you, you might take that as a sign.
No, it was... There was 3 girls working in the box office, but I should have, I did it to myself, because for some reason everybody picks the top row at that theater.
Right.
But, I was like, oh, maybe this won't do shit, because we had sold out, 3 Medea showings, so I was like, everybody's in that.
You've got to go see him for that.
I was like, everybody's in that fucker, so I'm not gonna be bothered by anybody. Lord, for fucking bid. So, I then, pick another row where there's nobody there, and I get there, and the seat I picked, somebody is sitting in the wrong seat right next to me. So I just moved 3 seats over. I was like,
nobody gives a shit, dude.
Yeah,
nobody cares.
And I threw my hoodie and just watched the fucking movie.
Yeah.
And I mean that guy. If I snored, he got a show. But yeah, I dozed off during the second act of this. But overall,
from what you described, you missed maybe 5 minutes, and they recap it immediately after that.
Yeah, I found
so you missed nothing.
I found it humorous, enjoyable.
This is a movie that's so bad it's good. This is definitely one to break out. If you ever want to have a bad movie night.
Yeah.
Just dumb action schlock. This one totally works for that.
I didn't mind the dumb. I guess I haven't seen any okay dumb action schlock in a while, because I didn't mind this.
No, it was fun. I think this was 2 movies that accidentally got put into a shredder and got combined into one.
I know it's half the plot of Highlander 2.
Not even half. Not even half.
It's a third of the plot of Highlander 2.
I'll
without the immortal. It's Highlander 2 with all the immortals stripped out.
And Zeist.
Yeah.
So, the B plot of Highlander 2 with the weather shield.
Yeah.
So, this is a movie that I think Dean Devlin was working on with Roland Emmerich. And Roland Emmerich decided, yeah, you know what, I'm going to go do something else. And Dean Devlin was like, fine, fuck you, I can write my own movie. And then he got, a hold of a rejected Lethal Weapon spinoff. And was just like, I've got some holes in my story. Copy and paste. Because Gerard Butler acts like a rogue cop in this movie.
Yeah, he does.
And people treat him like that. He's in front of the climate committee, and it basically plays out. The guy sitting there is like, "You're a damn good climatologist, Gerard Butler, but you're a loose cannon. You don't play by anybody's rules. You're off the case." He basically throws his badge at him. He's like, "Thank you, I don't need to be on the case. I quit."
No, he was like, I saved thousands of lives by not listening to you.
Yeah, it's like I punched a guy who was there to go over our shit, and I saved his life for it. You're welcome.
Oh yeah, the guy apparently he punched.
And they get on his ass and they're like, "How dare you build a weather device that saves billions of people? You son of a bitch!" And then when he finally gets to the space station 3 years later after he's fired, nobody fucking recognizes the guy who built the goddamn space station. He walks into the room of people, and they're all sitting there. It's like, let me introduce you to Mr. Lawson. Not the Lawson, the guy who built the weather system that I'm working on, and I've had everything to do with for the last 3 years of my life.
You haven't...
That guy?
You haven't Googled this motherfucker's picture not one time?
You don't have a picture of him, in the break room that you have people playing darts in?
But...
This is the guy who helped save billions of lives. This is not just, oh, I don't recognize you because I haven't seen you in a long while. This is Transformers 3, Sam Witwicky not being able to get a job at anywhere but a postage center of the mail center of a major company because it's all hush-hush government shit. It's like, fuck no! You should immediately, when he walks in the room, look at him and go, oh, you're the guy.
You're that guy. You're a hero.
You're the reason I have a job. Thanks! Like the doorman at the committee when he's getting reamed out. I can understand that guy not recognizing him immediately.
But he did!
And eventually he did. He
gave him his fucking time!
Yeah, Gerard Butler shows up out of a cab. He's like, oh, God, I feel like I look like shit. I don't care. And he's like, can I borrow your tie? Dude's like, you saved a lot of lives. If there's anything I can do, you let me know. He looks at his tie. He's like, oh, sure. And when you get to him, when he finally unbuttons his coat, it only comes down to, like, right here. It looks like a fucking joke tie.
We're forgetting the complete subplot with the brother and the president and his secret...
We have to kidnap the president to save the world. And it turned into fucking national treasure, too.
And his secret service girlfriend that he can't talk about, that then the president tells him to marry her, and she's immediately his fiance. There was no ring, nothing. This is my fiance now.
No, he should be introducing her as his fiance because she kicks ass. This guy didn't do shit.
It's because the president said it was okay. We're getting married.
I don't... Is that like an unwritten... If any of our viewers work in Washington, D.C., I don't know why we would have viewers in the Capitol, but is there like an unwritten rule where Secret Service members can't fraternize? Like, with each other, I would understand, but like outside, are they not allowed to like have a family? Or are they supposed to be like Jedis and they're just supposed to remain celibate?
Not according to White House Down with Channing Tatum and Jamie Foxx. Or
do they have a bromance?
No, Channing Tatum
has a romance?
Channing Tatum has like 3 kids in that movie. Or, I mean, we also have the other Gerard Butler movie, Olympus Has Fallen. And then London Has Fallen, and they're making a 3rd one.
Oh God, what is it?
I can't remember the name.
It's Geostorm. That was its initial premise. Earth has fallen, and Gerard Butler has to go to space to save us.
I actually think it's like Asgard has fallen or something like that. Like,
I don't know.
Just fucking ridiculous, but yeah.
This movie was so fucking dumb, but I loved it so much. How long did it take you to realize that Ed Harris was the bad guy?
I think I fell asleep when like all of that was going on, and then I woke up. It's like it did set when I woke up, it was like we have to kidnap the president to get the kill codes, and then the little dickhead kid that was obvious was going to be a little shit the whole time, the little English kid. He was trying to blow up the space station.
Okay, let's talk about that for just a second. We'll get back to Ed Harris. Don't you worry. This is a space station that apparently, I guess Texas built it because there's like gun holsters taped under desks and shit. It's like, I'm not a scientist or an astronaut by any stretch of the imagination. I'm pretty sure you shouldn't be firing a gun wildly in space where depressurizing a cabin means you die.
Yeah.
Because sure enough, he starts shooting his gun off, he hits a window twice, and he gets sucked out into space, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, that's exactly why you don't have guns in space.
Remember, the whole freaking Mexican guy, too, kept doing Mexican jokes?
You son of a bitch, Hernandez! I was laughing so hard when that happened.
No, when after the thing is blown up, and he's like, it's like, you think he's gonna die, and it's like, no, I'm gonna get in a satellite.
Yeah,
and
they get in these
and fly around.
They get in these satellites
and fly down a spaceship
that are supposed to like transmit computer data back and forth between the orbital satellites, and he launches himself into space, heading towards Earth, and toggles the air thrusters in an SOS pattern.
Because the little shithead British kid blew up the space station, but Gerard Butler had to stay behind
to input the code.
To input the kill code so he could stop the Geostorm.
Which everything just immediately becomes fine. All the water immediately recedes back into the ocean.
Let's not forget about the kid and his dog.
The boomer scene?
Yeah.
That was all I could think of during that scene, and it immediately reminded me of Independence Day, and that's when Dean Devlin's name showed. I was like, this explains much!
Like, for
There's
real.
a scene with a kid in India, and he's playing with his dog.
Like, right as the tornado's hitting his village, it's 20 minutes later, the tornado still didn't touch his village.
Yeah, it's just sat there on the outskirts looking menacing, and it's like, oh, I'm a tornado, I'm gonna get you. Oh, Geostorm's up, okay, bye. And then sure enough, the kid comes out, and he's like, huh, and he hears a dog barking, and he's like, boomer!
So, let me tell you, like...
Oh, hold on, we're not done with that, because we have to go back to Hernandez.
Okay.
Because Gerard Butler gets saved after he launches the shuttle out as the station's exploding, which that's another topic we're going to talk about after this. But he's floating off, toggling his thrusters, doing an SOS pattern, apparently. And a shuttle pulls up beside him. Apparently the Mexican guy is the only guy in there. And he's using his little robot arm to grab hold of it. Gerard Butler looks out the window of this satellite he's spotting. And he looks at him, he sees him in the window. He's like, Hernandez, you son of a bitch! that just cements it in my mind. It's like, this was supposed to be a Lethal Weapon spinoff.
And then it was like, he's like, it's always the Mexican. So, here's where I fell asleep. I figured out where I fell asleep.
Okay.
I fell asleep as the scientist got hit by the car.
Okay.
And I woke up as, during the presidential debate thing.
Okay, you missed a lot, but it wasn't actually needed to figure out what the fuck was going on.
No, I immediately woke up and knew what was going on. I'm like...
Exactly. No, you missed, like, some weather storms happening, which they like to do. Apparently Dubai got a huge tsunami. I want to say it was, like, Somalia or wherever. Gets this giant freezing tidal wave, and it tracks on this girl running away from frozen birds hitting the ground all around her.
And then the plane came down?
And then a frozen jet.
I saw that.
You saw that?
I fell asleep that was during the end, during the delegate.
Was it during the end?
Yeah,
it was earlier.
When the Geostorm was happening, about to happen.
Yeah, we were building to the Geostorm, but it's okay.
I think I was maybe out for 15 minutes because I was half paying attention and nodding off, but the last thing.
Are you telling me you weren't totally invested in Gerard Butler fighting a British kid in space?
No, I saw all that.
Yeah, I know, but that's basically what it boils down to.
Yep. He's like, we were born in the UK, yeah, but you're from America, you wanker. It's just oh my God.
How dare you come in here with knowledge that can help us? Go back to Texas and shoot your guns.
You're ruining my thing, my plan here. I want to blow up the space station and make billions of dollars.
Let's talk about that.
Because a government job in space doesn't pay shit, apparently.
Apparently.
Your ass is playing a goddamn PS4 on the clock, and your job sucks. Okay, fuck you, kid.
Yeah, it's hardcore. Apparently he's going to be we'll save the best parts, of course. My little home out in the Italian villa is going to be just perfect.
I'm going to be rich.
I flash back to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie with the guy who turned out to be Shredder and doing it for money. I half expected him to be like, I'm gonna be stupid rich. And that'd be his excuse. Why does a space station need a self-destruct? I mean, that's even brought up by somebody in the movie, and they don't give him a good answer.
Because if it ever, tries to crash into Earth...
So you send more debris out everywhere?
Apparently.
Okay, so the self-destruct... Again, I don't know why a self-destruct needs to be on a space station. Gets activated, And immediately, Hernandez looks at him and goes, why did you install self-destruct on a space station? And he's like, it was to make sure that in case it ever fell into orbit. And it's like, unless you're planning to use a thermonuclear device and vaporize all of this shit, like, basically you would have to detonate a small black hole and suck in all the debris in order to make sure that was okay, and then close the singularity. That is the worst fucking idea you could ever have. Satellites fall into orbit all the time. They're positioned that when they do come into decaying orbit, they reposition so they burn up on entry. Apparently, segmenting this bitch and having it burn up on entry is not an option.
Oh no, because I saw a space station crash to Earth and the 100, and it turned out okay for them.
But things couldn't be okay because the Geostorm was going to kill us all! I do love how this movie doesn't beat around the bush, like when usually with disaster movies like this, they'll be like, was it man or was it an act of God? I guess we'll never know. At the beginning of this movie, they're just straight up, man fucked the earth up. I mean, just
why
really
was his
hard.
daughter narrating this bitch?
I have no idea. I think initially during the first version of this, it was supposed to be Gerard Butler's girlfriend or whatever. And they just rewrote her as a child to get that extra kid audience in there and sucked out all the sexual tension between the two.
Maybe, or maybe there was an alternate ending where he was supposed to die, and she was telling the story about her father.
That would probably make a little bit of sense.
I have a feeling there's just...
But they had to have a good shot of him walking away with the German chick with Hernandez as a little robot arm controller with him. I saw that, I was just like, why the fuck are you still carrying that, asshole? You're not going to use it on the ground?
I have a feeling that there's an even more fantastically destructive cut of this.
Probably.
And...
the destruction of this movie is not good. It's the same generic bullshit you've seen in 2012, The Day After Tomorrow. Just roll all that together.
That's basically what it is. But you know what? I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, those movies did not have Ed Harris's wonderful idea of becoming president. So apparently, this is something that's not supposed to happen either. You're never supposed to have all members of a cabinet in the line of succession for presidency in the same area at the same time because of shit like this!
There's actually a show on TV right now called Designated Survivor where this guy becomes the president because everyone else gets blown up.
Right.
And he's the designated survivor.
Exactly. But yeah, apparently Ed Helms has this grand idea of getting all the heads of state, all the cabinet members of the presidency that are in line of succession to the presidency outside of him, together at the DNC. And then he runs the formula that would make a Geostorm happen. But he has to do it so it looks like random attacks everywhere. And he builds up to it to where lightning will come down and destroy the DNC, kill the president, the vice president, the joint chiefs of staff, members of the House and the Senate, and leave only him as the man who would lead the presidency towards a new dawn and America be great once again as it was in 1945.
Hold on. During an election year.
During an election year. Because they're not just going to immediately look at it and go,
you got maybe a half a year to do some shit, man.
If that. And you're not going to get a whole lot of shit done when you don't have any cabinet members to ratify that bullshit.
During an election year. That, when it...
But then he tries to spin it at the end. He's like, Mr. President, I was going to put you in power. It was all for you. That's why I shot your Johnny Cab with a rocket launcher.
And then,
which I don't understand if that was always an option. Why not just rocket launch the president?
And then Gerard Butler's brother's like, you know what I would do?
My brother would do?
You know what my brother would say?
Pah!
Right in the face.
Captain America punches him in the face. And he's standing there like, Mr. President, how did you... I'm the president. I was just like, that explains fucking nothing! You're not a witch, you can't teleport! I half expected him to walk. I was like, Mr. President, how did you get away from that? In my mind, I immediately wanted him to look at him and go, bitch, I'm the motherfucking president! And just drop kick his ass. I wouldn't put it past this movie.
As stupid as it was, I think you should go see it just for entertainment.
I would wholehearily recommend this movie.
Did you see it in 3D or
I did not.
2D?
I saw it in 2D.
The 3D on this bitch sucks.
The whole movie kind of sucks, so
It was,
I can't imagine 3D being much better.
I didn't feel like 3D at all
during
this thing, and so you saved yourself the 3D pro. Like, for real, like, for some reason, all the late shows at my theater are 3D, and there's, like, one 2D in the middle of the day. So it's like, go see the matinee 2D. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, if you can do it in 2D, totally do that. But this movie was fucking awful in all the right ways.
I had more fun with it than any other movie we've had since The Foreigner. Like,
I enjoyed The Foreigner. I genuinely liked The Foreigner.
Yeah.
I haven't had this much fun with a bad movie basically since Fast 8.
Yeah, that's
because
we've seen a lot of bad movies this year, but
none of them have been
fun. Exactly.
I was really glad I was the only person in the theater because there were more than a couple of parts where I laughed out loud so hard.
I kind of want to go back and watch it all the way through because
I could honestly kind of recommend that.
So there's I guess that's our recommendation.
I guess so. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Which one did you prefer? I hope it wasn't The Snowman, because that movie's boring and awful.
Jesus Christ. Like, I mean, like, even, like, Only the Brave was kind of boring, but, man, it had a payoff. This movie had no payoff.
Yeah, no,
and then we have...
These are two really great examples. Take the visual aesthetics and the way that The Snowman looks, and if you're going to make a bad movie, take Geostorm's fun nonsensicalness, just atom smash those two together. You will probably have a fan-fucking-tastic movie. I'll go see it at the very least.
I think that's like half the Avengers movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, so, Avengers 2 then?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, guys. Well, I guess until next time.
We'll see you later.
Go watch Sean play The Fractured Butthole.
Well, it's you playing The Fractured Butthole.
Well, you review it, and then
I reviewed it, and then you play it.
But I don't think my playing is up yet.
Well, no. Thanks for giving my schedule away. That's on my website.
Illusion! Alright, guys. Next time, we'll see you guys later.
Laters.